Thanks for being with us today. I know a lot's going on, but we thought it was important to maybe reach out and touch base with some people very special to us. Make sure you understand what's been happening at the library, with the museum, various things that we've been doing really since this whole coronavirus thing hit back in March. You know, we didn't really miss a beat, although things were different. You know, we were challenged in a lot of ways, but I got to give credit to staff. Really have come through with, I think, by flying colors to provide services and programs during this shutdown that we really, frankly, had never done before. A lot of virtual things. We now have curbside pickup on the library side. So programmatically, you know, things are different, but again, we're doing what we can to really provide the services that are really critical for our population. That's the internal stuff. The external stuff, obviously, there are a lot of renovations that we like to talk about, and we'll be updating you on those, you know, during the course of our little discussion today. The other thing that I'm very proud of too is the community outreach we've done since this whole thing hit. I think you're aware that there was a feeding program we put together, and I think we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But that was just a real great partnership with the foundation, some restaurants, and some organizations in town that provide services to at-risk folks. And I think it's great, and I think you'll be really pleased at what you hear. And again, I am very proud then of what the foundation's done to really stand up and do something for not only for the vulnerable, for the restaurants, but for the whole community. So really excited about what's been happening and where we're going, from here. So before I kind of, go any further, I do want to mention that this is being recorded, and if there are issues with that, Laura, I'm going to have to defer to you as to what people need to do to either go blank or whatever. But the thing we're trying to do is make this then available to people who aren't with us today, who can't be with us today. So if you don't mind, it is being recorded, and if you have some questions as far as your participation, as I said, let us know, and Laura can take you through what you need to do. Make sure you're comfortable with that. Joining me today will be Dana Barber, our library director. Also with us on the call are Laura. Laura is a community services librarian. She also helps me with our Can Do More campaign. And she's also one of our real great children's teen kind of specialists in the library. Also Robin Boutray, who's our museum educator, amongst many things, many different hats that Robin wears. And we also have Lillian Kinney, who's our archivist. And we will be providing an update on what's happening in the archive, which, if you recall, was one of the first projects we set about doing with Can Do More. So I think there's some really good things to talk. Lillian can talk about that and what the future for exhibitions looks like in the library, and it's really exciting. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Laura. Laura, do you want to maybe explain a little bit more about feeding Bristol Borough?
Absolutely. So don't worry about anybody seeing any video of anyone speaking, because I'm in presentation mode. You can only see what's on the screen, so you won't see anybody's faces during the recording. We can see them who are logged in off to the side or at the top of the screen, depending on what your screen looks like. But don't worry about that as far as the recording goes. So for COVID-19, Feeding Bristol Borough, you, our community, have been amazing partners. We have been able to raise at this point $11,512, which exceeds our original goal of $10,000. Which has been awesome, because that means we are now being able to feed people into August and September. We are currently working on the Beaton Family Challenge. Carol and Bruce Beaton donated donated a check of $2,500. and they asked if we could match that, so that way we could provide food all the way into September. So at this point, we're only $1,000 short of meeting their goal, which is absolutely wonderful and puts us very well in hopes of being able to accomplish that before the end of August. So that is Feeding Bristol Borough. We have our partners that have been providing all sorts of meals to the homeless, to children, and to families throughout the Bristol Borough region. So we're really, really thrilled with all they've been able to do through this program. All right, and now we're going to move forward to our next slide, which is going to be Dana.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well this afternoon. I just wanted to give you a few updates on what's happening here in the library. I know you've seen a lot of activity. You see a picture there of the crane. We had a lot of excitement here with some changes inside the library. When you come in, when we reopen, you'll notice that we have new restrooms for the public and the staff. So those were all of our original fixtures that had been in there. So they were over 50 years old, so they were really in need of updating, needing a lot of repairs. So we're excited that we were able to get those all updated and took advantage of the opportunity of being closed to be able to do that. The reason why the cranes were on site multiple times, if you saw those outside, that was because we had our entire HVAC system replaced. So all that equipment had to come out of the pits that are built into the ground because we're underground. So it was quite a feat to try to pull up that big equipment, get that out, and then also drop in the new equipment. So that's why it's taking so long for us to reopen. This is many, many steps involved with this process. And it's pretty warm in here since we don't have air conditioning at this point. So that's all in the process, but we'll be excited that hopefully in the next couple of weeks that will be all back up and running again. You may have also seen work being done in our parking lot. So there's a new concrete pad that's out there, so some digging that's been happening out there. And what that is, that's going to be the site of our new generator. So in the past, when we've lost power, we've been completely without and haven't been able to run the building. The entire Grundy campus now will have a backup system. So this generator will help to keep us going should we lose power across the Grundy Foundation, the museum, and the library. So we're excited that will be coming, and I think the community will be too, because so many people rely on us for computers and internet access, which all would go down in the event of a power outage. So now we're protected from that happening. And coming later this year, we're going to have a new elevator installed that will be starting in September. So it will mean that the current elevator will be out of service for a few weeks, probably about 4 to 6 weeks or so. But in the end, we will have a new elevator that will be functioning and hopefully a little bit quicker and more reliable than our past one. So we're looking forward to having that one. Again, that's something that's been in this library for over 50 years. So it definitely needed an update. And then finally, you'll probably see some work, and you're already seeing some work upstairs. We're having roof repairs done. So as we get into the fall, that's going to pick up a little bit more heavier. And so we'll have a lot of the rooftops are going to be updated. We'll have new pavers up there, new grass areas, green spaces. So we're excited that is all coming. But mostly we're excited because that also entails repairs to our roof, because we do take in water when there are these nice summer thunderstorms that are rolling through, or the tropical storm like we had last week. We do have leaks, and obviously in a library that's particularly dangerous with all of our books that we have in here and computers. So we definitely are looking forward to having all of that shored up. So those are our big construction updates. Does anybody have any questions on that? I think you're muted, Deb.
Yes, I actually I do. So with the HVAC system, did you have, does it have like HEPA filters or anything in it? Does it have extra filtering?
Yes.
Great.
That is all being built in. Yes. And it's all computerized, so it's all, we can run it from the computer system, so all the controls are all centralized. Any other questions? All right. So I'm just going to get on to what's happening next with the library. So as you know, you probably realize the library has been closed. We have been closed since March when the pandemic shut us down. But we have been running as of June 29th our curbside service. So what that has done is allowed us to be able to let you check out materials. So people can just put holds on our materials either through our online website or by calling us, and then just arrange for a pickup, and we run them upstairs, run out the materials upstairs. So the library staff have been working in shifts here in the library. You know, we're wearing our face masks, we're practicing distancing. I'm trying not to have too many of us in at one time. But we have been at least able to have enough of us in to be able to get all our steps in by running upstairs to deliver those materials to you. And as always, our Wi-Fi has been available on the grounds. We're offering a lot of virtual services. So if you have questions, reference questions, or technology questions, you can either call the library or we can do Zoom sessions or GoToMeeting sessions with you to help get you through and answer those questions for you. We're also doing a ton of virtual programs. So we have a lot of our regular in-person programs and meetups that we have, like our knitting and crochet and our book discussion meetings for teens and for adults, as well as our teen advisory board meetings. All of those things have now pivoted from in-person to virtual. So we're doing all of that virtually. In addition to those live sessions, we're also doing a lot of recorded sessions, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that on our next slide. So let me finish telling you what's happening coming up. So we also have what's been really popular with families have been these take-home activity kits. So there's different like topics that they're organized under, but these are for toddlers and kids and teens. And it's a kit that you can request when you call us, and we'll run it up to the curb. There are all different kinds of crafts and activities for kids to do. So, you know, we know the kids have been needing to get out this summer, needing to stay busy this summer. So we try to create these different themed activity kits. So our youth services team has really been hard at work trying to come up with new ideas all the time. And this has been really popular with our young patrons. So what's happening next is as we're letting the dust settle both literally and figuratively from the construction updates, we are hoping to be able to open in late August, early September at the latest. So that means that the library building will be open to the public. We will have adjusted new hours, and those will be posted shortly. But at that point in time, visitors will be able to come into the library, browse the collections, and pick out materials in person. So I know many of you and much of our community have been waiting for this moment. Our computers will be available at that time as well. However, in-person programming will not resume. Most likely, we will not be having in-person programming through the end of this year. You know, out of abundance of caution, you know, we're monitoring the situation just like everyone else. But for now, we're planning for virtual programming through 2020. And then we'll see what 2021 brings us. But we can't wait to welcome everyone back. So for what's happening and with our videos, so this is all that virtual recorded sessions that I was saying. So these are some of the things that our librarians have been really busy creating while we've been closed. As Jean mentioned earlier, this has been something brand new for us. We've never done these things before. And so when we closed, the staff got really busy learning how to create these online videos and how to post them, create a YouTube channel and all of that and get these up and running. So you can see pictures of the library staff there and all their smiling faces. We've been doing virtual book talks weekly for both adults and teens, so you can learn about new reads that way. We've had some kids STEAM challenges. We've had a NASA at My Library STEM series for our preschoolers. Story times and craft lessons with Miss Sarah every week. We've had Code Club virtual lessons and challenges that Miss Amber and Miss Laura have been working on, and also some exciting virtual escape rooms like I Love the 80s and Lord of the Rings. So those are some things and more. And if you want to check any of those out, you can go to the library's YouTube channel and they're all posted there. So, and more are coming every week. So we've been staying really busy in this way, and it's pretty exciting to see all the new content we've created. And then the next slide is just some upcoming programs I wanted to highlight. So we have been, well, Summer Quest is actually winding down this week, but our summer reading programs are really popular every summer. Unfortunately, we weren't able to welcome the youth into the library this year, but we had a virtual summer reading program instead, which has been really exciting because kids can log their minutes online through this virtual software that we have, and they can then get tickets to win prizes. So they were able to submit their tickets in to win a variety of different things, from gift cards to, I think there was a unicorn sprinkler system and all kinds of fun things for kids and adults both. But coming up tomorrow, we have our NASA Solar System Ambassador, Dr. Anne-Marie Schmiedekamp, and she's actually a professor at Penn State University, so she's going to be talking about Pluto. And then in a little bit later, on August 18th, we have the 19th Amendment program with Dr. Christina Larocco from the Historic Society of Pennsylvania. So those are a couple things coming up this month, along with our Grow with Google webinar series for small businesses. The library is a new Grow with Google partner, so we're working with Google to bring this webinar series, 3 different programs for small businesses this month, and then next month, Grow with Google will be helping us do webinars for job seekers. So those are some things to look forward to, along with Star Party this October with Bucksmont Astronomical Society. Some more STEAM challenges from our youth librarians, as well as our ongoing Play the Ukulele for kids. So that's been a very popular program, so we're going to try to do that virtually this fall. And Laura's going to be hosting a block sales club where kids can create their own video game. And then finally, a new program that we're going to try out is called Story Walks. So these are going to be self-led story journeys through the library, the Grundy campus overall. So they'll be posted around our grounds, and families can take a walk and read a story as they walk through the grounds. So those are some things that are coming up in the near future at the library. You can find out about all of them on our website or follow us on social media. But does anybody have any questions about any of the library's events? No? All right. Well, thank you for the time on the library side. I think I'm flipping it to Robin.
Hi, everybody. The museum, we've been reformatting just about everything as far as programming, events, and tours. As everybody may be aware, we remain closed, not just because of the COVID restrictions, but also we are still underway with our restoration. So we have been busy trying to reformat and rethink just about everything that we had planned for spring, summer, and fall. And luckily, we've got a lot of great staff and Jean at the helm, so we've been coming up with positive ways to do this. So our virtual format is taking the lead from the library and knowing that it was something that we wanted to do was create a Grundy Museum YouTube channel and bumping up our film clips and social media content. As far as the YouTube channel, we were lucky enough to have music composed for us. And one of our staff members has almost branded us in a way with the title page and keeping formatting the same. So staff's been busy writing scripts on different topics of everything from collection items in the museum to stories about the family or stories about the house, things we've found in the attic during the renovations, and all the restoration products. So all of that has been going on, and staff has been busy filming, and those are going to be released late August. Our premiere event for the YouTube channel is Corsets and Cummerbunds, which was to be a live presentation this past June with local Bristol resident Eros Leroy. And we ended up converting that into a slideshow presentation and filmed Roy, created them, had the music recorded, and that will premiere on our YouTube channel this coming August 20th, next Thursday. So we're really excited about that. The museum clips will shortly, they'll follow after that, and we're looking to post those about every 10 days to 2 weeks as we get content finished. Our annual tea last year was so successful that we knew we wanted to do that as a yearly event and switch gears with that. But now that we cannot do an in-house tea, so to speak, we are doing a takeout tea. So we've reinvented that, and we're doing something a little bit different. And dependent on how things go, the other event that we had planned for the end of the year was a designer holiday house. And so a little bit more details are on some of these things on the next slide. So the Corsets and Cummerbunds and the video content for programming, it was exciting to kind of get all the staff on board. Not everybody's really comfortable in front of a camera. I know I get nervous, you know, but there's a few people that I didn't have screenshots for, but every staff member has been participating, and the ideas are just wonderful, and it's really just been great getting everybody involved, creating these stories for us to share. So I'm really looking forward to that happening soon. And the Corsets and Cummerbunds, we got inventive, and one of our staff members is our tech guy, so to speak. He's been busy learning all the tech equipment and sound recording and lighting, and we were lucky to have Roy videotaped in Mary's bedroom in the museum. So you are getting a sneak peek right there of Roy standing in Mary Grundy's bedroom with all the glorious new wallpaper, but empty of all the furniture. So that will be next Thursday. And our takeout tea will be on September 12th. We're right now in the midst of having the event up on Eventbrite so that it'll be a timed pickup. So you could place your order, and it'll be a timed pickup on September 12th. Sue Aurora, who is a chef here in Bristol, who catered our tea last year, is returning as the caterer. And we're doing a boxed takeout tea with a few little extras in there for everybody. So we're a little excited to do all of this. Again, it's something new, and all of our museum staff will be on board, and they're looking forward to seeing everybody as they come to pick up their lunches. And weather permitting and any barring any other restrictions, the river level grounds are open for visitors. So if you wanted to bring a blanket or chairs, you can take your lunch and have lunch on our riverfront. And then the holiday house is something new also that we've talked about. As far as the house goes, we've never really done a full-blown Christmas. And I don't believe that we will be maybe doing it inside. We're still looking into how we could do this, but if nothing else, we will definitely do grounds and try to make things as glorious as we can. And we'll see what we could do as far as taking the tour in some fashion, you know, and it'll be a timed ticket event again, also to keep hold of how many people are there and social distancing. And then the newest thing that's exciting is a walk and talk tour. So we have been in the works, staff, coming up with how we can do something as far as a tour goes, especially when the library begins to reopen. And we have beautiful grounds. Our new 2020 tour interpretation really included a lot of new research material that we've found. And also it has always included a lot of the grounds. And so this will be offered on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, 2 times per day, from 11 to 12 and 1 to 2. It will be booked online. It's socially distanced. You will have a docent, and I know that we'll be really safe, and there's a lot of new material. So I think it's going to be, you know, something interesting for everybody that's even been there before. So we're working out the details on that, and it'll just be nice to see everybody as we work on the grounds. We see everybody walking by. I see Mary Jo all the time walking by, and I know everybody's always so complimentary, and we're really working hard to keep everything kept up during all the renovations and all the construction. And it's a perfect time to take people around and make sure that we stay connected with everybody. So we're very excited about this. Does anybody have any questions? Nope. Okay.
Robin, if I may, just to mention that walk and talk tour is free, correct?
Yeah. Yes, it is free.
Limited to?
I believe we were limiting it to 6.
Yes.
6 visitors or guests per time slot. You know, the challenges will be, we will all have masks. Masks are required. Obviously, if it's a group of a family that are together, it'll be a little bit easier because they can stay, you know, contained. But we feel 6 will allow us to everybody to hear. And that picture that you see is a previous tour. I think it was from the Rotary, and there's more than 6 people there, but you know, give you an idea of where part of the walking tour is. So up the ramp.
Robin,
yes.
How long approximately is the walk?
We think about a half hour to 40 minutes. Yeah. So, you know, a half hour is what we're shooting for. Some of us are long-winded, so it may go to 40 minutes, but.
And what are the times again, Robin?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 11 to 2 or 1 to 2. And we will be posting the exact date, the exact Tuesday that starts with, to, I believe if I'm right, Dana and Jean, to coincide with the museum or the library opening.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So late August, going into the beginning of September, and we'll have, you know, signage out, and everything will be on our website and social media too.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, so the next part of the presentation is going to be about the Grundy Archive. I just want to take a moment to introduce myself and say hello. I'm a fairly new-ish member to the Grundy Library. I've been here for almost exactly a year. It's actually almost a year. And some of you may know me, some of you may not, but I am the new Archive and Exhibits Coordinator. So Robin and I have been working throughout the past couple months deciding upon some new cases for a new exhibition space that will be happening within the library. So plans have been underway to order new top-of-the-line cases from Gaylord Archival to exhibit both local history items and museum collections items. The hope is to have these displayed sort of in the lobby area of the library when you come down the steps, and near where the new books are and where the old information desk was located, which is no longer there. So the hope is that area will be sort of our new permanent exhibit space. And we really wanted to go with cases that were high quality and would also offer archival preservation practices. So ways that we can exhibit original materials more in a way that's going to be safe for the materials. And that was a big factor in our decisions in choosing cases. The cases that we are planning to order are kind of like the ones you see here in the picture. They are what Gaylord calls the Metro Gramercy case. And they offer things such as locking capabilities, UV filtering vitrine on the glass, so that way items do not have any light or sun damage to them, and adjustable shelving. So that way, depending on the size of the items we want to exhibit, we can either take shelves out or adjust them up and down on the tracking on the back of the case. The cases will be funded partially by a Visit Bucks grant, as well as Can Do More campaign donations. So as usual, thank you to our generous donors for all that you do. This is yet another example of the exciting opportunities we can plan for with your support. We are hoping with these new cases, we will be able to highlight original collections items more and for longer periods of time than previous exhibits. Most of you are familiar with how we would do one big exhibit in the fall and it would only be up for the month of October. With these cases, the hope is that we can do quarterly exhibits where items will be up for maybe about 2 or 3 months. And let's see. And another great thing about these is, and another factor in the decisions we made when trying to pick out which case would be best for our needs, is we hope to exhibit the Michael Dougherty diary as well as other materials that were donated by the Dougherty family. And for something that's special, we really wanted to make sure we had a special exhibit case for it. That would not only keep it safe, but make it look extra sharp. So that will hopefully be one of the upcoming exhibits with the new cases in the lobby. Okay, so the next slide. All right, so the next update is regarding the digitization project and our digital collections website. Work is continuing on finalizing the digital collections website. While there have been a few delays due to staff changes and COVID-19, progress is continuing, and the hope is that it will be completed by this fall and made public. To the right, you can see a little sneak peek of how the photographs are going to be displayed on the website. Here is a photograph of the Fleet Wings Sparrows softball team. And the website is powered by Omeka. That is the content management system we are using for it. I know I am, and I'm sure the rest of the staff can also agree. I am very excited to unveil this project, and I think you will be too. It is going to be a great way to publicize our local history collections and archives, not only with the public within Bristol and Bucks County, but with the world. So this will be a great way to not only increase the visibility of Bristol's history, but our collections as well. And it will also make our collections more accessible to researchers, which is great, especially during this time of COVID-19 and everything being virtual. It will definitely help people access our collections, even if they can't visit us in person. And finally, this website will allow for us to do some more digital exhibits, whether that is highlighting an in-person exhibit on the website or doing something completely virtual. One thing we kind of have in the works right now with BCHF is planning a virtual scavenger hunt, Bristol Day in October, and it will use images from our historic collections. All right, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I do. This is Marty Shively. I'm from the Artists of Bristol, and I just wanted to say cases that we use in the art show. So if you're thinking of just getting rid of them all, save a few for us.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Noted.
Marty, to that point, we have spoken and with Dana and Lillian and Robin, and the thought is to actually, as much as possible, refurbish those to accept these two signature pieces that we're purchasing. So I think what we have right now will be reused, I should say, but we'll certainly, make them a little bit more, say, attractive. They've shown a lot of wear and tear over the years, and I know all the people who use them, rely on those. So we'll have a series of 3 or 4 of them, depending upon what staff needs, in addition to the 2 signature pieces. So, yeah, I think it's going to be more than just that. Those 2 display cases. There will be an array of display cases, old and new. So I'm really excited about that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, and now we're on to our Can Do More campaign update. So we took a hiatus in March due to COVID, but you all once again have been so generous over the last several years. Our goal was to raise $50,000 to help with the museum projects, and that was divided into the 3 different parts. So it was exhibits, it was education, and it was landscaping. So at this point, the majority of the funds that we have left to raise for this campaign is for the landscaping for the South Side lawn. There's a lot of updates coming for that, and we can't cover all of them, but due to COVID, some of them have been delayed. I know Robin's been prepping the grounds for them for months and months and months with her team, but that's the majority of what we have to raise. We still have the benches that need sponsorship, the fountain, and some of the shrubbery, trees, landscaping materials. Inside the house, I think the only thing left sort of inside the house would be for the film that we would like to complete as an introductory film for the project. So we've raised $36,705 so far, which is great. And 34 of that was actually raised last year, which is just, you guys are so generous, and we just thank you so much for that. For this year, the 2 museum events that Robin mentioned, the Grundy Museum Takeout Tea and the Designer Holiday House, those are actually going to go in sponsorship of the Can Do More campaign. So we're still getting price points for those, as she said, but if you buy the box, it's going to help fund this campaign. And of course, you can also fund this or put your name on a bench, family name on the benches. They're going to be beautiful and Victorian inspired when those are selected, when the grounds are ready for that. So that's where we are with the Can Do More campaign. Does anybody have any questions? All right, if nobody has any questions, then we are at the end of our presentation. So now it is open for additional questions on anything we've covered today.
I have a question. I heard that you're going to be taking down the fencing and it's all going to be open. Can you tell me if that's true or not?
Dane, you want to take that? You want me to take it, or?
I can I can take it. So yes, some of the fencing is coming down along the front of the library, so that we can open up that space, make it more welcoming. That's the idea of kind of redoing our rooftop area and giving more green space up there. So the upstairs of the library, that fence is coming down, but the fencing around the museum will remain up, and the fencing will still be retained for preventing access to the lower level grounds when the park area is closed. So that
Okay.
won't be open when we're closed.
Okay.
So
And-
just a limited area will have no fence.
If I may too, there are certain areas, Mary Jo, along Ratcliffe Street where we need to provide some type of a security measure. So if we
Right.
do, things like shrubbery would replace a railing or a
Okay.
fence.
Yeah.
We want to try to make it as welcoming yet protected as possible. So, that's still to be determined as to what those will look like, but there is a need obviously to provide some type of if you will, a barrier, and we'd like to make it as soft as possible.
Okay. If you're thinking of selling any of the fencing, it used to be our house there, and I would love to have a few pieces to maybe put at our other house or something if
Sure.
if it's available or for sale.
Yeah, one of the things that we're going to try to do too is, if you're familiar with the Keene properties, the Gillickson properties, and the Romano property,
Right.
the hairpin fencing there.
Right.
The thought is to take that and then move it down to the museum and swap it, since that's a
Oh.
little bit more authentic.
Okay.
We will certainly, refurbish it, but the thought is to even have it replicated to, if you will, fence in the museum. As I think Dana mentioned, that museum area needs to be secure. So
Right.
we will have that hairpin fencing along the south side of Ratcliffe Street, so to speak.
Okay. Well, if there's any pieces you're gonna throw out or would like a donation for, let me know.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's just sentimental value because we used to live there.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
And they made that, like, you can't find that right now.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not
Uh,
even, what shape it's in or whatever, but I know my
Yeah.
sister and I would each like a piece, so.
Sure. See what we can do.
Thanks.
So I have one question, one quick one. Are the details for donating to the Beaton Family Challenge on the website?
It's the
Did you hear
same.
me?
It's the same as feeding Bristol Borough. People are just adding a note or saying Beaton Challenge with the feeding Bristol Borough because it's the same
Okay,
challenge. it's
feeding
just
Bristol
adding
Borough.
it. Yep.
But it's on the Grundy website. Right? Okay,
It's
thanks.
Grundy website and on the foundation website. There's a whole page with that.
There will be a press release going out, I believe, the end of this week or next, I forget, on that. So, so look for that. And I don't know if anybody saw, but William Penn Bank, that was in the Bucks Carrier County Times on the 10th. They donated $1,000, and that was featured in the Bucks County Carrier Times on August 10th. Also on the website, Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a tab where you can actually see who's made donations.
I can actually show you that if you would like.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So let me share my different screen. Wait, I have to get out of that first, and then it'll let me do it. Okay, pardon me. Applications. So if you go to the Grundy Foundation, either through the library or by going to grundyfoundation.com. Sorry, my web is a little slow at the moment. When you go there at the top, there is a tab under About Foundation. So under About the Foundation, there's Feeding Bristol Borough. And it features all but the newest restaurant. I need to get that up there. But it has all of our other donors up until August 1st. So if you donate, then all of the generous donations have been placed here.
And is that, illustrates our practice has been just to name or feature the names of the benefactors and not the amounts. And even Carol and Bruce Beaton had to be not cajoled, but certainly, I asked them if they wouldn't mind lending their name to this, and he said absolutely. So as I said, we did do that, and the bank insisted that there be some type of a public promotion. So more than happy to do that. But for the most part, we like to just try to make sure that people are recognized and not necessarily, because our thought is whether it's so. And certainly, but thank you, Laura, for putting that up so quickly. That's helpful. Are there any other questions? Think what's happening? Well, I really, again, I appreciate you being. If you don't mind, we will certainly be.
Sorry, mine is breaking up a lot, but this will be posted on YouTube, and we will send out a link to it to everyone if they want to review it or pass it forward to anyone.
Right. And we appreciate it if you see it, pass it along, and just as I said, any questions, certainly just give us a call. But we hope to see you real soon in some fashion. We do miss seeing everybody, obviously, and but we still want to be connected, help. So I appreciate you being part of it. So that's all I have, unless somebody else has anything to add.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.